Greetings, family. Divine risings to you all. Wherever you may be in this beautiful world, I hope everybody is doing fantastic on this beautiful Friday Eve over here in the U.S. where I am, for those of my beautiful family members abroad. So look, before I get my day started here, I just have a nice little quick message for you. It came to me, and so ancestors say, give them this. Now, it's not going to resonate with everybody. Of course, every message doesn't. But for those who I am speaking to, this message is for you. Listen, I know that a lot of us are out here on the grind every day, every day. There's so many individuals speaking, telling you every day you rise, you need to be out there grinding, hustling, nonstop. You need to be doing this 5-7 days a week until that you seek comes your way. Listen. That's beautiful advice to a certain degree. But there are other aspects of life, other lessons that need to be learned. A lot of the things that have been said and taught to us over the years have truly been asked backwards, all designed to simply get us away from us, to get you away from you. So here is the message that the ancestors had me to give to you. Listen, you know they say that what is for you is for you, and nobody can take it away. And if it's for you, it's going to come to you. Okay, so this is what they say. But then they say that, you have to put in their work. You have to hustle and grind to make everything align so that your harvest comes to you in due time. You see, this is the talk that you're getting, basically leading to non-stop activity, constantly on the go. Here is the other half of that, fam. Here is the other half of that. Listen. It is impossible for the body to go 24/7 without rest. Let me say that again. It's impossible for the body to go 24/7 without rest. Rest is just as vital in your everyday living as whatever else that you do out there. Rest is just as important. We have been taught to get away from that. All it is on the grind. I can sleep when I die and all of that senseless talk that you basically from the time you wake up, you have to be going, constantly going until the time you go to sleep. Listen, family, listen. Let's say this one more time. The body needs rest in order to keep you going. Now, the important word I want to take out of that, rest. I want to take rest and then I want to replace it with still, learning how to be still. Just sit down and relax. Period. Listen, once you put the work that you need to put in, once you've done everything that you know to do to get it started, to get it aligned, to get it moving and going, okay, you got to realize that it's going to come a time when you have to learn to just sit still and rest. Here's why you need to sit still. While you are resting, here's what's being implanted into you from your higher power, from your ancestors. Like I say, to whoever this resonates with, because it's not going to resonate with everybody, but those who are not spiritual and all you simply believe in, that you see that's in the physical, money and material things is what make the world go round, then this message is not for you, and that's cool. That's cool. But for those of you who know that there is more to this, who knows that it's deeper than what we see on the surface, those of you who know that your ancestors is just as much a part of this living, who knows that higher power, whoever you call upon, this message is for you, period. At some point now, you have to learn to sit still. You have to allow them to implant some wisdom in you so that you can get to learn you. This is that ugly truth right here that so many people do not want to face, don't want to deal with. You see, you have to learn to be still now so that your ancestors can show you the ugly parts of you that need to be worked on. Because see, you were so busy out there hustling. You were so busy out there grinding, trying to line everything up. You see, things are, and things are starting to come together for some of y'all, but for most of us, it's a process. But you see, what has to be worked on is you now. Because if you are calling on your ancestors for help, if you are calling on that higher power, then what you have to know is the source that you are calling upon. The source wants you to live life to the fullest, but in the most beautiful way. In the most beautiful way. That means the source wants love, wants love to flow out of you. The source wants forgiveness to flow out of you. The source wants healing to flow out of you. The source wants all of these beautiful things to life to flow out of you. Want that energy to glow on you. And the only way that it's going to happen is now you have to see the ugly parts of you that need to be dealt with. You see, I've said it before in many other videos, and I'll say it again. And I know I'll say it again after this. Is that, many people live in denial. We live in denial because, look, either we don't want to look at the ugly part of us, the broken part of us, those shortcomings of ours. Either we don't want to address them, to look at them, or we simply have never been taught. And we've never been around anybody in our environment on that level to come and speak to us in that manner. All we know is grinding, period. Get up and do all that you can do in the allotted time that you all wait to make it happen. So you've never had nobody around to feed you this other side of life. You see? And here's the thing. You see, if you don't deal with the broken parts of you, those shortcomings that you have, then you'll go out and you'll do great. You'll achieve all of the material things, all of the wealth that you want. But then you'll be lonely. Trust me, you'll be lonely without nothing. I'll give you a prime example of an individual who is now in the media. Sad to say, but she's in the media and she's being mocked by comedians and so many other people breaking her life down and the stipulations and demands that she placed. I'm going to use the name Miss Vivica A. Fox. She went and she put everything on hold because what she wanted was fame. She wanted wealth and fame. Okay, she got it. Her wealth and her fame. But now look at her. 60 years old. 60. She wants a relationship. She wants a relationship. See, a relationship is just as much a part of living as every other aspect of living. And most people, I'm going to say most people, even those who won't admit it, you want a relationship. You want to be with someone who not only needs you, to a degree, but who wants you to be in their circle, in their life. Everybody wants that. It's a part of living. But you see, the one thing that she hasn't dropped off, that hasn't changed, is the ugly part of her. You see, if you listen to a lot of the things that they're saying, all of the stipulations and demands that she placed, he got to be willing to let me just go and spend money and shop how I want to shop. Okay, all of these stipulations. Yes. He has to be willing to accept an independent boss woman. All of these stipulations. You see, she has held on to these stipulations all of her life. And now you see that at 60 years of age, with those same stipulations, what is the one thing missing? One thing that she now desires, and that she's publicly speaking out about, a relationship. There, don't want to be alone, tired of being alone. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Money and material things, they can never, ever, ever replace love. They can never, ever, ever replace a true, meant to be relationship. They can never, ever replace family. Period. Money and material things cannot replace that at all. They can't fill those voids. So she's a prime example. There's many others out there. Many. She's just the one in the spotlight that I use as an example to make this point. You see? So the ugly parts of you have to be dealt with. You have to be sat down so that now your ancestors or the source, that higher power, can say to you, okay, so listen, you did well at putting everything else aside so that you can go out and achieve this. You done well with that. But now here's the part of you that we need to deal with now, where you need to learn how to forgive those who hurt you because you were taking it personal, and nothing is personal. There was a lesson. There was a lesson in that with what that person did to you. And you still don't see the lesson because the only thing you holding on to is how that person did what they did to you. Some of you got families. Some of you got families. You've made that sacrifice to get where you at. And now you see that your families are on the verge. You're on the verge to losing your families. That's just, hey, I'm giving you the truth. You're on the verge of losing your families because you sacrificed all that to get this wealth and these material things that you running out to achieve. And make no mistake about it. Now, when I say family, a lot of you are single parents. So the family that you are jeopardizing is that relationship with you and your babies. Yes, you are. Yes, you are jeopardizing that relationship with you and your babies because you don't spend that nurturing time that they need. You don't spend that time and attention that they need to learn them, to see where they at, to see how they're growing, how they're learning, how they're maturing in this life. You don't give them that time that they need. You listen, for some reason or another, we get so caught up in the life that we don't, and this is those that are parents. We get so caught up in life that we fail to realize that your babies are growing up. They are growing up, but they are still your babies. They are still not yet grown on the level of where you are, right? Able to simply reason as well as you are able to reason to see things for what they are. Some of you got young teenagers and you think that, because that young teenager, they don't get in no trouble. They go to school and get to work the way that they should. But you see the parts of them that you don't know is how well do they handle peer pressure? Are they able to handle peer pressure? Are your kids leaders or followers? Are they? What are they, leaders or followers? You see, babies pay more attention. I always say this, always, they pay more attention to what they see you do rather than what you say. So if they're seeing you doing whatever they're seeing you doing at home, and then they get around their friends out in the streets, you know, everybody is coming together, them and their little circle of friends, right? They're all putting their input in of what they parents do, what they don't do, what they tell them to do, and this and that and that and that and that and that. And so out there in the street, what you got to realize is it's always going to be a couple of your friends who simply do not get that little bit of attention that you get at home from your parent. Always. It's always going to be that one friend. That one friend might be the only child. They might be the only child, or they might be the last child at home. So that means there is no other siblings around them. So that means now everything that they're learning basically is coming from You, those in the circle around them. Because their parents are still doing what they have to do to provide for them. This means they're still going to work. They're still coming home and cooking and this and that and the other. While you are in school during the day, when you get out of school, whatever activity, that your babies choose to want to get involved in. So granted, when they get home, where's the time that nourishing time, that attention to sit down and learn my baby, see how my baby's mind is coming along, to give input. How many of you actually have the type of conversations where you sit down and you allow your babies to just speak freely? You see, this is one aspect, family. This is one. I didn't mean to go so far, but it all ties in to learning how to be still. Some of you have to be shown that the family is what you have neglected, your family. So now you have to come back to that. Others of you, what you have to be shown is you are so hard. I mean, literally so hard on revenge on those who have done you wrong, failing to realize that what was done to you by that individual was done on purpose, because there is a lesson that you have to learn. See, a lot of you really don't realize how unforgiving that you are until you get around others to see that they know how to forgive and let it go, because they realize how holding on to what that individual did to you has you in bondage to them. You are binded to them and you don't even know it, because you simply don't know how to forgive them. So some of you have to be shown that. That's right. You have to be shown. Everybody's going to be hurt by somebody. Everybody's going to be done wrong by somebody, because we are all here doing the same thing. What? Learning, walking our path and learning. So some of you have to be sat down to shown that part of you. Some of you have to be shown how traumatized you were from your upbringing. There were things that took place in your past that really traumatized you. And what you did was, in order to survive, to move forward, to move on in life, you either closed it away on the inside of you, you closed it away, or you simply took it and then you turned it around. You kind of turned it around to make it seem like, it really wasn't what it was. You know what I mean? To make it seem like it really wasn't what it was. A lot of times, mental abuse, mental abuse is what many go through, and a lot of times the mental abuse will either make or break you. You see, the mental abuse can weaken your self-esteem, can tear it down to the point where you have no more self-esteem. That's the mental abuse that you received. Your parents never gave you a good compliment, or whoever those that raised you, they never gave you a good compliment. They simply never said, "Good job, man, you're doing wonderful, you're doing great." Just never gave any words of encouragement. So the way that traumatized a lot of y'all is, now you feel the need to prove to the world. You see, the world, when the world had nothing to do with those individuals that traumatized you coming up. So now you have this complex of trying to prove to the world that you are somebody, that you are different than what those who raised you kept saying that you were. So you're spending time trying to prove it to the world. Those new relationships, them individuals, they part of the world. So you're going to constantly try to prove to them who you are as well. And they don't have anything to do with how you were traumatized. You see, a lot of you are dealing with the traumas, never got counseling, never received it at all. So the traumas that you're dealing with, every new mate that you meet have to endure what you endured when you were young. This is another reason why you have to be sat down, why you have to learn to be still. You see, what is for you is for you. It's coming, no matter what. You've put in the work with that. So leave that alone now and learn to deal with the other aspects of you that need to be dealt with. Because there are going to be beautiful people to come into your life. Beautiful relationships of all kinds, friendships, for some intimate relationships. For others, it'll be individuals who will pour into you like your mom or dad should have did, grandma, grandpa, aunties or uncles. These type of figures will come in to your life to pour what needs to be poured into you, and then they will leave. They only have a certain amount of time to be in your life. They come to give you wisdom, to help you deal with that part of you have not yet learned to deal with. See, if you don't recognize that you need some form of counseling, someone on a higher spiritual, mental level to help you release that energy to heal. If you don't know that you need to do that, and then you don't go and seek that type of service, then your ancestors, the higher power that you're calling out to, they already know it. So what they're going to do is send individuals your way to simply pour this into you. They're going to come, pour it into you, and then they're gone. See, they only have a certain amount of time. They've only come into your life to pour what needs to be poured into you, and then they're gone. You have to learn to be still to recognize that so that they can pour the wisdom they need to pour into you that's going to help you to heal and learn you. Period. It's that simple. Then you have the other aspect of why you need to learn to be still. Everybody that's around you is not for you. And listen, this is not necessarily a bad thing. You see, we like to talk about it or put it out there like it's a bad thing. It's not. Listen, there's too many people in the world. Way too many. Everybody is not going to vibe the same way. Everybody's not going to be on the same frequency. Does that make it a bad thing? No, it doesn't. It just simply shows you that we all have a path and we're all on the journey. And you are going to connect with those who are on the same frequency as you, who vibe the same way that you do. But you have to learn to be observant. That's what being still does. When you learn to be still, then the ancestors or that source will help you to be observant, help you to see those around you, to really see them for who they are. And so the source, the ancestors will tell you, these individuals, you need to let them go, leave them alone. Quit trying to be a part of their life and remove them from your circle for whatever it's worth. Yes, because y'all are not on the same frequency. The things that you have to go and do now, they can't come along. You see, we know this. We do. We speak about it. We all do. Saying that, as you continue to walk and change and people fall off, that's part of life. That's how it works. That's true. So there are individuals who are going to fall off, that y'all are just no longer on that same frequency. And so therefore, you simply have to let them go. You know how we've been conditioned. We've been conditioned to believe, as they say, that when someone simply lets you go, then they have to be mad at you. They have to be angry for some reason. No, everybody's not mad and angry. They let you go. I can speak from experience because I am one very well acquainted with this. When I recognize that we are no longer on the same frequency and we are not vibing anymore, I let you go. Period. I cut you off and let you go. For one main reason why I do it, me. If I keep you in my circle, in my energy circle, and we are no longer vibing, then you now become a drain to me. Period. You're a drain in me. So therefore I have to let you go. I have to. That's all. Does that mean that I have something against you? No. When I see you in the street, I will speak to you. Period. I will speak to you with all of the genuine honesty and love. I'll still greet you when I see you. But it was time that we go our separate way. And this is what some of you need to see. This is why you need to be still. You need to learn to just sit and be still. And so that source can show you that. And see, this is the hardest part for so many of you all, to be still. For all of this that I just spoke about, this is what was so hard. And this is what's going to delay. What's going to delay for a lot of you that you put in all of the hard work for. Those things that are for you, like they say, they are for you. Yeah, they are for you. But they can be delayed. If you refuse to want to address you, if you refuse to want to address the part of you that your ancestors are showing you, that the higher power is showing you, if you refuse out of your, what they call it, strong will, another word for being hard-headed, if you refuse to want to address that part of you, those parts of you that they're pointing out to you, then what is for you will be delayed. Make no mistake about it. It'll be delayed. It'll be aligned. You've already done the work. You've already done the work and aligned the things that need to be aligned. You've already done that out in the world. In the world, you've already done that. But now what needs to be dealt with is you. That's what needs to be addressed now. It's you. And trust me when I tell you, when I say it can be delayed. You could have started your journey very well focused, knowing what you wanted to be and do in life at the age of 25. And that you want, that work that you put in, it won't come until you 55. That's right. That's right. 45, 55, maybe even 65. That's right. Because you kept running from you, not want to address you. This is what the ancestors and source is showing you. Because, listen, like I said in the beginning, if the things that you are doing, using your gifts, knowing the gifts that were given to you from birth, which we all have, you are connected with source and your ancestors on that level, then that means that you now know your purpose. You know your purpose. If you know what your gifts are, you know your purpose. And so therefore, the purpose in being here is to make a very powerful, beautiful impression, impactful impression upon the world outside of you. But the only way you can do that is you have to first learn who you are. And then you have to address the broken parts of you, those shortcomings of yours, so that all of that can be cleared out of you. So the voids can begin to be fulfilled. That's right, the voids have to be fulfilled. Once that's done, then your energy begins to change. The energy and the glow inside of you, it begins to change, and everybody around you will not only see it, but they will feel it. They will feel it. You have reached that level now. You have reached that level to where the ancestors or source can bring to you that which you desire, because every part of you has become a very positive impact upon the world around you. And that's simply what it's all about. Becoming a very powerful, beautiful, loving impact upon the world around you. So know this, family. Know this. Learn to be still and to learn the other aspects. You've put in the work. What is yours, and it's coming. But now work on you. Come out of that place of denial and put your egos and your pride down. Address you. And now work on you. Address you and work on you. Because, as I always say, as I know it to be, it is your soul's desire that you walk well on this journey. Your soul's desire that you walk well, family. Walk well. Peace.